of Wood County, crossing over Highway 154 pretty much within the next few moments. So if you live any of these small, wonderful East Texas communities, you need to be in a small windowless interior room. This is something that we just are adamant about. We love living here just like you live here, just like you love living here. So that's what we do right now. Now, again, according to this Weather Service, I'm trying to get the exact wording that they put on this. They said that the tornado was located near Rosewood, or 13 miles west from the actual circulation that we were looking at. So there is the city of Rosewood right here, and it appears that the circulation is still sitting just right around the Ronesboro area right now. So if that's the assumption that Weather Service is thinking that it could be a little bit further to the east, we will certainly go with that assumption, and we'll put a storm path on it. We'll find the city of Rosewood. There it is, and that's Rosewood. So let's back away, and then we're going to put a storm 5 miles per hour. Brumley, 11 minutes. Pittsburgh, 22 minutes. Mount Pleasant, 37 minutes. So that's what we could be looking at there if that was indeed where the circulation was located. Right in there. So I tell you the truth, folks, I'm going to go with that assumption because I believe with all my heart that is where we've got it going on right now. That's where the tornado is at this moment. Looking at the the closer radar, it's still showing that that storm that bothers me. But we're still going to say everybody in this warned area, everybody that's in that red box right there that you see in the middle of your screen, for quite some time. We had residents in Lindale. We had a confirmation in Lindale. It could have actually touched down prior to that over the southeastern portions of Van Zandt County, moved from Lindale on up to near Hawkins. That the National Weather Service is going to have a busy time of it this weekend, confirming what we've got going on out there, or what has already happened and what could happen, I guess, in the near future. But this is the warning that we're watching right now. This is the clock, which is 28 minutes from now. So still looking at that. I know, and I totally understand, folks, that there are other warnings in East Texas, so we're going to back out, and I just want to show you that there are other warnings that we have in effect right now. We've got some flash until 8:45. Flooding has been an issue with these storms as they continue to just roam over the same location over and over and over again. The flash flood warning for parts of Northwest Smith, parts of Upshur, that one will be extended since it is raining in the warned area as we speak. But we will continue to keep you updated on that. And we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Camp Smith, Upshur, and Wood County until 7:30. Certainly under something warned, but you can see the yellow boxed area. I know it's getting a little difficult with all the different colors that we have on your screen right now, but we'll show you the now image, take off the lightning, and show you what we've got going on right now. Still looking at some north of Lindale. We've got hail now that is nearing 2.5, maybe close to 3 inches in diameter in a few areas. So the hail in that storm continues to get bigger and bigger just north of the Sabine River. We're looking at the regeneration of a storm. Again, it's got quite a bit of hail in it, just north of Lindale, in east of Mineola, right around the Horde area, Haynesville. If you live in Haynesville, you could have some hail very, very close to you here soon. Very closely, even though we still have that additional tornado warning to the south. The one that it appears to, well, let me just go ahead and I'm going to correct myself here. This box here to the south, let me look at the expiration time on this one. It just erased from the screen. So the ones that, the only one that we're concerned with, the only one that we're watching and keeping our eye on right now is the one that's sitting over the northeastern parts of Wood, parts of northwestern Upshur, and the southern sections of Camp County. So let's go ahead. Less of that really bright green, even though there is some in this. We'll look at the velocity to see what we're looking at here, but we've got minus 41 and we've got 50, so that's about 90 miles per hour. If we some, and that would be my wish, my prayer at this point. The circulation around the storm that we were talking about near Lindale, that's gotten very broad. It does not appear that that is tornadic at this time, but we did show you a few moments ago how hands here to see if we're not seeing anything different. Yeah, it looks like now though that it is trying to work its way into the northwestern parts of Upshur County, starting to leave Wood into parts of Upshur County. Still stay right where you are. Don't leave that tornado safe spot yet. It's time to just kind of wait for just a little bit longer until we can get this storm a little bit farther off to the north of you. That would be a good thing. Grice, Perryville, Simpsonville, Brumley. On the scan here, it really does appear now that we're looking at the rotation, the circulation around this storm starting to move out of Wood into Upshur County. So Grice, it is on your doorstep. Please be in a small windowless interior room. Expected Grice in 3 minutes, Pittsburgh in 26, then on into Mount Pleasant in 41. Let's hope that the storm weakens much further and quicker so that it doesn't get that much farther to the north. But along Farm to Market Road, 852, we've seen this storm hold together now for several hours. It's 6:39 right now. I believe we came on the air right at the very end of our 5 o'clock show, or right toward the end of our 5 o'clock show. So we've been here now for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. Clouds, as you can see here, the sirens are going at that point. I believe this is Highway 69 heading south. Yeah, heading south toward I-10. I believe that is, or I-20, excuse me. We did get a confirmation earlier that there was a tornado that did touch down in Lindale. We also had reports of damage. Cody, are you seeing anything additional as far as damage or storm reports out of that area?
Not much. It looks like they have taken, it looks like either
Here, Cody, and I apologize, he's not mic'd right now, but it appears that this tornado that was indeed on the ground, we've had confirmation of that, is weakening to the point now where the National Weather Service is going to let this warning expire. Into the clouds until it expires, folks. However, until it expires, I want everyone in the northwestern parts of Upshur County in this area here to please stay in your interior, your small windowless interior room. Significant facade damage to that building. Also, it looks like some roof damage. This was the Dollar Tree. Remember, we told you earlier that there was debris in the parking lot of the Dollar Tree, and it looks like at this point, yeah, there's certainly some damage there. Yeah, there's certainly some damage. Is that a police department vehicle there? It looks like there is. Yeah, okay. So just be careful out there, folks, especially if we've got power lines down or anything like that. Make sure that you stay Since we've been watching this system, that the hail in that an original tornadic storm is much smaller now than the before. It takes a little while for the computer to figure all this out. There's a lot of data that has to go into this to find out exactly how large the hail is inside these storms. So along Farm Road 14, just to the north of Hawkins, we're looking at hail. Chelsea, all of these areas that could be affected by this thunderstorm as it moves into your area. So be aware that the hail is, it's not getting much smaller. It's still holding in that 2-inch in diameter, just to the one storm that you see there just to the north of there. Other warnings that we have in effect for you still, folks, out there are the flash flood warnings for parts of Van Zandt, for most all of Van Zandt, and portions of Henderson County. And that flash flood warning here with the weather that's moving on through. Still looking for one from my son. Yeah, he said thanks. Things are okay, so that's good news. The severe thunderstorm warnings, we still have one to deal with here that's in parts of Smith, Wood. We're going to put the radar on for you now so that we can see what we're looking at as far as just basic reflectivity, which is what we normally show you. And there is quite a bit of pink showing up in that storm. Into this so that we can see what we're looking at out there. So we'll kind of slice right through just areas just to the north and west of Hawkins. And look at this storm still exceeding 60,000 feet into the atmosphere. Probably now that hail is not rising well up into this. It's 30,000 feet. So you're going to be getting some pretty large hail in a storm like that, but it's not going to be too bad. But if it gets higher, now we're looking at some of the other. First of all, let's just go back to the entire East Texas scan so that we can see what's happening over all of East Texas right now. We see a large cluster of showers and thunderstorms moving into Houston and Anderson County. We told you about this, I believe. Lightning doesn't appear to be too terribly significant, but I always tell you, one lightning strike is all it takes. But there's 951 strikes in the red box that you see there. As we look at the area a little bit further to the So let's turn off the lightning right now. We'll get back to the storms that we have in parts of Wood and Upshur County. Yes, ma'am. What do you have?
We've just talked with Sheriff Larry Smith, and they do have several injuries reported in the Lindale area right now.
Okay.
They're working to get to them, not still very much figuring out where there's damage, those locations, and still getting to people that are calling.
Okay. All right. So we're getting reports now Thank you, Skylar. That was Skylar Gallup coming in from the newsroom letting us know that the sheriff Well, as soon as we can get more information, we will certainly let you know. What I am going to do, though, is because I'm a father and my son is in Lindale and I've not gotten a response from him in a while, I'm just going to make a quick phone. With me right now, we're getting reports of lots of injuries in Lindale. Please tell me that the family's okay.
Yeah, we're all fine. God is good, and we were just praying, and we're okay. We're just, we're just real sorry for those who have been affected. We got in the storm shelter, and we were in there for a little bit, and then it was, about a half hour or so, and we were just listening to the thunder, and it was just right on top of us. We could tell, and then all of a sudden we heard just the rain slamming against the side of the garage door, and we were like,
Okay. All right, son. Well, I'm glad that you're well, and I believe the people in East Texas afforded me that phone call. All right, we'll talk to you later. All right, be careful.
Bye-bye.
All right, just accept my apologies for having to do that, but hey. In effect for parts of Camp, Wood, and Upshur counties. What I have noticed here, Cody, just a few moments ago, it appears that they have taken that one warning away.
Yes, from the second circulation, it looks like they've canceled that altogether.
Yeah. And then it kind of tightened up a little bit. They issued the warning, and now they have since dropped it. That's some good. Like my son said, God is good, but we still have a warning that we're having to deal with right now for the southwestern portions of Camp, northwestern Upshur. All of this, there is still a little bit of an area of concern now kind of moving into Camp County, right along Farm to Market Road 556. It is a broad circulation. It looks like we're talking about some at this point. But nonetheless, we're still looking at something going on there, whether or not it is well up into the atmosphere at this point. We're still looking at it to make sure that this isn't going to reform and turn into something we saw some damage to Lindale. We now are getting reports from the sheriff of Smith County that there are several injuries in the Lindale area as well. So if you're okay where you are, take a minute and pray. Just it can't hurt you just to pray that everything see what we got going on. Yeah, we still have large enough hail at this point to continue with that severe thunderstorm warning that we have in effect, and that severe thunderstorm warning will remain in effect until 7:30 for a good chunk of these that circulation that still appears to be much weaker than it was earlier, crossing into Camp County. It has allowed the National Weather Service, or it has made them issue another tornado warning. We're getting tree damage report of Upshur County right now. You said it was from the fire marshal? So we're getting reports of lots of trees down in parts of Upshur County. We're also, again, as we mentioned to you earlier, getting reports out of Lindale. For the northwestern parts of Upshur, parts of Camp and Wood is in effect for another 3 minutes. Got that update, and it looks like we're starting to see more of a circulation generating again. We're not looking at these big numbers, certainly. Broad area of circulation at around maybe 90 miles an hour, which would certainly be an EF0 tornado if that was the case. Some of these brighter red colors, right along. Coming close together, that's where we could be talking about the possibility that if something is still on the ground, it could be there. And here are some of the roadways that could be affected as we speak. County Road 1352. That could indeed be on the ground, but according to the National Weather Service, when I clicked onto this warning to see what they were talking about, it did say that a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. This wasn't like we had earlier where where it is now, but now this is just they're just saying that it's a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It says it's moving to the northeast as well at about 30 miles per hour, and they said it was located near the city of Leesburg. Now this came out at 5. So we can kind of see what's happening. All right, let's back it out here just a bit and put a track on this for you as it just makes its way into Camp County. And it says it's moving only at around 30 to 35 miles per hour. And it's been a little while since I've shown you what a small windowless interior room might look like. This is your home. We take off the roof and we find the innermost portion of that home. Get as many windows as you can between to not only your home, but to you and your family and your property. So please be careful on that. We're going to go ahead now and look at some of the other warnings that we have in effect. Yes, we have the tornado and the severe thunderstorm warning, but we now have numerous flash flood warnings that are in effect for parts of go down just a little bit more. We've got a rather large flash flood warning until 1 a.m. for portions of Franklin, Titus, Morris, and Cass County. I believe Camp County may also be involved, a part of Camp County. Last few events that we had moved through East Texas, and it does appear that is the case right now. And we're not doing this to pat ourselves on the back. We're doing this just to let you know that we don't tell you these things just for fun. We fun. We're doing it because we want to let you know. So here's that tornado warning again. It's a small one for parts of Camp, Morris, Titus, and north central portions of Upshur County, right up along where 271 crosses from Upshur into Camp County. That's also involved in this. And that it is west of Highway 271 right now, still along Farm to Market Road 556. It looks like that's where the circulation is continuing to move off toward the north, heading toward Pittsburgh. If you live in Pittsburgh, now is the time. Actually,
Department spotter saying that high rotation in the FM 556 and the FM 2455 area in Camp County.
okay.
Said about 5 minutes ago it did not touch down, but it's definitely
But yeah, we've got Cedric Haynes in here with us now, and toward the north-northeast. Residents in Pittsburgh, please get into that small windowless interior room. It's time to take that shelter. All the times that we've talked to you and on the air and in your schools and at your Rotary clubs, and we always talk about that small windowless interior that you are ready to do right now, that you are going to get into this small windowless interior room if you live in the city of Pittsburgh, county seat of Camp. So please do that. Any of these roadways, again, that are in the Camp County area along Farm to Market Road, Street in the southern parts of Pittsburgh, get to that small windowless interior room now. If you live on Hickory Street, just north of Highway 11, get into a small windowless interior room. If you live on Willow Lane, please get into a small windowless interior room. That, yeah, I mean, if this storm is just low-level circulation, spinning around a little bit, maybe some trees will be damaged onto this, but nothing significant will happen along the ground. But if it just happens to head toward the ground, there could be some problems. Until 7:30, parts of Morris, Titus, and Upshur as well are involved in this. So the hail, we have not done that in a few moments. So let's get and see if the hail continues to get smaller. It was getting smaller earlier. To tell us just how large those hailstones are. So it's not instantaneous, but you can see in the western sections of Upshur County, we've got over 1.5 inches in diameter hail in those areas. Right there along 154, about 1.5 inches. You kind of head just to the west of some time, just so that you can see how things have been throughout a time period. This is the hail track that we have been watching here over, I believe, this is the last hour or so, and it's showing for, again, you can see a good chunk. The northern sections of Upshur County are not under the tornado warning. They're still under a severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning has gotten smaller. The tornado warning still there for parts of Camp, north central Upshur, south central and southeastern Titus County, and a portion of Morris County just west of Dangerfield. So that's where that it is crossing over Highway 271 just south of the city of Pittsburgh, probably very close to Bo Pilgrim's house, to tell you the truth. As I go into town, I love to see that, and it's probably pretty close to that area as we speak. So as we watch that whole per hour, which is that was the last indicator of how fast the storm was going. Again, you can see Pittsburgh, I mean, that's downtown Pittsburgh in 3 minutes, Pecan Heights in 4, Cookeville in about 30 minutes, and Omaha in 36. You getting more guys over there?
Yeah, we're getting the fire department also.
Trees that are taken down by storm systems like this, low-level circulation, not quite touching the ground. You can see that the top of a tree just snapped off, and we were getting some reports, and that was in Upshur County?
Yes.
In Upshur County, they're starting to say that they're seeing once they get there, probably this weekend and early next week, as they continue to follow the path of the tornado that we have been following for you now for quite some time. It's about 20 after 5, I believe. Maybe earlier than that, after 5, we started following this for you. The Weather Service acts and reacts as it has in the past. Couple of warnings that were issued. I would totally not be surprised to see a warning come out that maybe encompasses the eastern parts of Titus. That is just south of Pittsburgh right now. We may see something like that come out soon. If it does happen, we will certainly be the first to let you know, because we're sitting right here. You're watching it happen as I show it to you. So that's really great. And hopefully you've got our app. And let me know. I would certainly appreciate that. But we still see in this area, folks, there is a circulation. It appears to be broader, maybe not quite as intense, as dangerous looking as it was earlier this afternoon. But it appears like it's not as dangerous looking as it was earlier today. And if I were to kind of zoom in on it here and show you where I think that it could be at this point. We're getting ready to get another update here within just Highway 11, probably just to the east of the city of Pittsburgh. So just be aware of that. Earlier we were talking about some power outages in Upshur County from SWEPCO. Okay, there's the update, and that's right what we're talking about. Not drop your guard yet. Please stay in your tornado safe spot. If you are in areas a little bit further south, kind of closer to Upshur County, maybe in the southwestern parts of Smith County, south of Leesburg, you probably spots, but the lightning in parts of Upshur and Camp County, we're going to go ahead and show you what we've got going on here, folks. There is a lot of lightning in this storm. Over 1,100, almost 1,200 in just the last 30 minutes is what we're showing. As far as any major power outages, we're still looking, and as soon as we get info, thank you, Herb, appreciate that. As soon as we get more info, we will let you know. We did see another severe thunderstorm warning just popped out here for that we're starting to, well, a good sign. This is a sign maybe that the Weather Service is believing that maybe this circulation is not as dangerous looking as it was earlier, and they're just going to take the area that it would this one here. So we're looking at that one, and we still have the tornado warning. It's still very clear that it's there, but as we look underneath all of this, let's see if we can see any differences. No, it really looks like this is fading significantly. Again, excellent. I'm so happy to be able to just tell you that, but the warning will still remain in effect for another 15 minutes unless the Weather Service decides to cancel that. Some strong winds. You can see here, it looks like we might be up there, because it just doesn't look like we've got something that's kind of wrapping in around itself. This just looks like it's kind of moving out away from the storm. And to kind of look at that, you'll see what I mean when I put this on here. So we've got these strong storms. And then they will issue other warnings if necessary. Let's back away for a while. We'll all take a little bit of a deep breath here, because again, I think that the tornado threat for Camp County has lessened significantly. Over the last hour or so, everything is moving fairly quickly off toward the northeast. Some of the stronger storms are in parts of Houston, Cherokee counties right now. There are no warnings on those storms at this point, but certainly there's
Marion, Morris, and Upshur.
okay. So they were looking at that as the possibility that a tornado could be forming in that storm right around the Gilmer area. So we start another warning for you here, folks. This is a tornado warning for parts of that will remain in effect, as you can see there, until 8 o'clock tonight. And this is for that, what looked like some type of circulation was starting to form right around the Betty area. So we're going to watch that, and let's see actually. Info from the National Weather Service that came out at 7:16 about 1 minute ago. So that would be the area that we're looking at right here, just north of Gilmer. Some type of rotation there right up along Highway 271 as things start moving off toward the It could be affected by this in 19 minutes in the Lafayette area, Cedar Springs in 27, Lone Star 35. And Lone Star, you're right on the edge. Dangerfield, you're actually outside of the tornado warning itself. And notice that other warning. Tornado warning that will remain in effect until I believe it's at 8 o'clock. And this is one that encompasses parts of Upshur County. We're going to move this up just a little bit here so that we can zoom in a bit. You can see parts of Upshur County, small. Involved in that tornado warning, which once again will remain in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. So we saw this earlier, didn't really think it was looking like much of anything, and now it appears that we've got something going on that we're going to have to watch for a little while here, and that's the Ewell vicinity, Delrose. Please make sure that you are now in this small windowless interior room that we've been talking about. Actually, the warning itself does not encompass downtown Gilmer, but as you head out of Gilmer on 150, so this is again another system that is a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, not necessarily producing one, but certainly capable of producing a tornado according to the National Weather Service. It'll be crossing over probably Farm to Market Road 20. Affected by this storm right now, anywhere along Bluebonnet Road, which is just east of the Betty area. Make sure that you are prepared. Dahlia Road, that's just to the east-northeast of Betty. Prepare yourself, get into a small window. But you know, we have to sometimes deal with the bad part too. When we got to deal with the severe weather that makes its way through East Texas, we have to unfortunately interrupt your programming from time to time. We don't like to do that either, but when lives are at stake, we are certainly going to do that. Continuing to form over the north central portion of Upshur County, heading off toward the northeast, and that is at about 30 miles per hour. So just bear with me. Another drink of water here very quickly. You guys seeing anything over there?
Nothing too impressive. Covering one side of the roadway there, so, just remember to turn around, don't drown.
Yeah, absolutely. Turn around, don't drown. That's what we tell you all the time. So we are getting some issues here with regards to flash flooding. If I turn off the radar very County as well and other areas. And I'm going to go ahead and add something here very quickly so that I can show you what's going on outside of our building here very quickly. I need to add a frame here. I thought
as we head up towards Upshur County as well, so lots of big, large trees as
Yeah.
well, not just little small.
Yeah, so you can see outside of our building right now in downtown Tyler, we're starting to get quite a bit of water on the roadways here, and with the rain that we've had several days or the next several hours, especially if the rain remains as heavy as it has been in many areas. So please just be aware that we want you to turn around, don't drown. We don't want you to be driving your vehicle through flooded roadways. That's safe spot, that small windowless interior room, getting to the center part of the house where there is as many walls as possible between you and what is going on outside. All right, so here it is. Once again, we're looking at the last 3 hours. Thunderstorm warnings for parts of Cherokee and Houston counties, even parts of Smith County and parts of Rusk. That's because they're lacking some of the criterion needed to become severe, but they can produce a lot of rain, and they very often Upshur County, you need to make sure that you are in a small windowless interior room. We're starting to see, again, that little inflow notch right there as far as where the circulation of this storm could be, and it's right around FM 2796 and Highway 155. You and your family. We want to make sure everybody gets through this without any major issues, but we do have the severe thunderstorm warning. You see that large yellowed box area until 8 o'clock. The tornado warning, the red boxed area, that's until 8 o'clock as well, which is very heavily on these areas for a while.
Yeah,
So
Highway 80 near Mineola is flooded right now, so I'll get pictures of that.
all right, Jeff, go ahead and tell me that one more time.
That's at
No,
Country
no.
Club, and Highway 80 is flooded. Oh.
County line, and some of this heavy rain that we were just mentioning to you a few moments ago, he's right in it now. He's, a matter of fact, I kind of feel bad for him at this point because this is a deluge. This is what we call a Texas frog strangle. Now?
Yes, I can, Mark. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely. Tell me what's been happening. You've been venturing out on the roadways here lately. What's been up?
Yeah, we were heading towards that tornado warning for Upshur in Camp County, and that one that has since expired. are right now, we are just back across into Upshur County. We are just outside of the warned area. Looking back, we are looking southbound right now on US 271 as we get the tornado alert on the cell phone right here. Back towards Highway 155, but as you said, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
As you're driving down south of 271 as you're heading from Pittsburgh to Gilmer.
Okay. So again, as we always tell you, please be safe out there. Make sure that you don't put on the Camp County, Upshur County line right on Highway 271. Actually had to stop. The visibility was too bad. The rain was too heavy. So, but he's still out there, and he's gonna find us something. I can promise you, he always does. All right, getting some updates here now. Again, this is just one scan of the radar, so there's certainly a possibility that we could be one here coming up in the near future would show maybe a little more of a circulation. Just trying to find anything from any of the tools that we have available to us here to see if we're a significant rotation, and we just don't see it here. Now, this is a radar that is quite some way away from the tornado warning, and it is showing some brighter spots down here, but that is so far away I wouldn't really want to put that as anything that's actually happening right now. But if we've got anything happening, it's probably sitting right in this general area here. We'll zoom in a little bit more to where we can see some of these roadways on 2796 and probably north of Highway 155. Again, the velocities are not that great, so we probably don't have anything too strong out there. Maybe 70, 80 mile per hour winds that could be occurring in these storms. So that's something that we'll watch, and we'll continue to keep you posted on. But we are seeing that things may be improving a little bit. The storm may be getting a little more broad. You got
National Weather Service just updated, said around about 7 miles west of Cedar Springs or 8 miles northeast of Gilmer is where that rotation is right now that they're monitoring there for.
8 miles northeast of Gilmer.
Yes, but they have canceled Harrison County from the warning as it's moving to the north.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, okay. So 8 miles northeast of Gilmer. So let's put a mile marker on it, which is pretty much right where we were talking about. Right in that general vicinity there is where we're looking at the rotation. But again, this is just a rotation that they're looking at. They have not indicated that this is a tornado on the ground. It is in a very sparse area, very rural area of East Texas, and there may not be anybody out there to be able to tell them what's happening. I have an app here that I'm going to look at here very quickly that may actually show us if we've got anybody that is out there tracking these things and kind of inside the storm right now. Nope, nothing at this point. But anyway, what we're looking at is still some low-level circulation. It just does not look like it is as bad as it was earlier today. You don't see those bright reds and bright greens. And what do you got, Sid?
Also, just letting you know that the Upshur County Fire Department is saying several homes are damaged or destroyed in the Shady Grove area along FM 1002. So
this is Upshur County?
Upshur County, near the Shady Grove area. There, let's see here, 7 miles northwest of Big Sandy.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so we're starting to get some reports of damage in the Shady Grove area, and that's to the north. You said north of Big Sandy?
Yes, about 7 miles northwest of Big Sandy. And this was a report from about 20 minutes ago that they received.
Okay.
And that was from the Upshur County Fire and Rescue Department.
Okay, so somewhere in the far western portions of Upshur County, in the Shady Grove area, we're starting to get some reports where there is some damage there from these storms that if they made their way through. and this was northeast of Big Sandy, probably south of the Roansboro area. So just be aware, folks, that the damage continues to come in, at least reports of damage continues to come into us here, and we're hoping that as far as lives are concerned, that the injuries that we spoke of earlier in the Lindale area are insignificant. They're just, you know, not that bad, but unfortunately, I believe that there's a possibility that some of these injuries could be a little more serious. So we're gonna look into all of this for you. We're going to continue to update you on the storms as they make their way through East Texas. So as we look at this point, we're starting to see more and more lightning in the storms to the south. They are not severe right now, but they are quite strong. There is lightning associated with those. If we go ahead and stop it now, we can actually look to see how the hail situation is shaping up in those storms. Going to have to turn the lightning off so that we can see it. There does not appear to be any concentrated areas of large hail, but you can see in the northeastern portion of Anderson County and parts of Houston County, we're starting to get some reports of hail, maybe over an inch in diameter, maybe close to an inch and a half in a few spots, just north of the Neches area in Anderson County. So there's certainly some hail out there to speak of, but it doesn't look like we've got anything that's real big or real bad at this point. So we'll try to get back up to our tornado warned storm, and we'll see what we've got to talk about here. And there it is. And again, it's just for the northeastern portions of Upshur, eastern Camp, parts of southern sections of Morris, and yeah, there it is. So let's go ahead and check once again to see if we've got an update here. Yeah, just to me, just between you and me, it doesn't look like this is really significant. Cedric, is there anything that you see here that would say otherwise?
I was going to say nothing too strong. I was just noticing, just looking at some higher resolution stuff here, just northeast of, or northwest of Ore City. I would say there's probably definitely some very strong straight line winds.
Yeah, that's what I just put on there.
Oh, okay, yep.
Is that the winds that are probably coming out of this would be more of a straight line feature as opposed to a tornadic feature. But certainly, you know, we're never going to second guess the National Weather Service. It is their job and their obligation to put out these warnings, and I think it's legit that they've got it there at this point, and we're going to continue to let you know what is happening. That tornado warning will remain in effect until 8 o'clock for portions of Camp, Marion, Morris, and Upshur counties. It looks to me, at least at this point, like this is turning into more of a straight line wind situation, and that's maybe one of the reasons why we've got also a severe thunderstorm warning kind of in that same area, which would be, you know, those 60, 70 mile per hour winds that we talk about, those dangerous thunderstorm winds that are associated with some very powerful thunderstorms. But, you know, at this point, just to the northwest of Ore City, we've got the possibility that if there is some type of rotation or some type of circulation, it could be on the ground just northwest of Ore City, probably north of Highway 155, which you see right there. That's Highway 155. And there's Highway 259 heading from Lone Star down to Ore City. It's probably west of there as well. And then there's Farm to Market Road 557, and then Farm to Market Road 2796. It's probably just in that general area that we're talking about where we've got this rotation that could still be causing some issues. We told you earlier some trees snapped off at the top by this area of rotation that was moving on by. So it, you know, it doesn't have to touch the ground to cause any problems. It can certainly just kind of skip along the treetops, and it looks like that may have been the case in a few areas as the storms made their way into and continue to make their way through parts of East Texas here this evening. So that tornado warning still in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. The severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for kind of the same location, just a little bit more off toward the west and north, that's also in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. So those are the two most significant warnings that we have out there for you right now. But you can also see in the dark blue, all of these counties are under flash flood warnings until 8:45 for Van Zant and parts, a good portion of Henderson County. For northwestern Smith, parts of Wood, Upshur, Camp, Franklin, Titus until 7:45. So that's just in the next few moments. But we've also had some very heavy, oh, there's another tornado warning that just came out for parts of Cherokee County. So let's look down there. Parts of Nacogdoches, Russ County are also involved in this. So let's go ahead and get into that right now and see if we can't find Yes, we do. Near the Alto area, I would think that we've got any rotation. This one could be right around the city of Alto right now. And according to the National Weather Service, again, this is just a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Was located near the city of Morrill, or about 12 miles south of Rusk, moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So the rotation is fairly easy to see right here, right around the city of Alto. So if you live along Highway 69 near Alto, please make sure that you are in a small windowless interior room, protecting you and your family, as we now have another area of concern that we are dealing with right now, and this is in parts of Cherokee County, and the warning encompasses the northwestern portions of Nacogdoches and the southwestern sections of Rusk County. All right, as far as the movement of the storm, it is off toward the northeast, I believe, at 35 miles per hour. So we will put a storm track on this one to the northeast at 35. So here are some of the areas that are going to be affected by this potential or possible tornado. The Alto area in about 3 minutes, Atoy in 18 minutes, Cushing in 34, in the Anadarko area in 41 minutes, and in the Laneville area in 49. But as you can see, Anadarko and Laneville, you're outside of the warned area, but that's just within the next hour or so that we're going to see the potential for those cities to be affected by that. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning also that was just posted for the northern sections of Cherokee and the western and southern sections of Smith County. And we've also got parts of Gregg, northwestern Rusk, and also the south central portions of Upshur County. So there are more storms around. And again, I'm continuing to getting more and more updates on my phone here as well as about all these warnings that are going on in East Texas. So if there's another severe thunderstorm warning that just came out for northern portions of Upshur, parts of Camp, parts of Franklin, Titus, and parts of Cass County, the expiration time on that warning is one of them is 8 o'clock there. Oh, this is the second one here, the one that for 8:45. This is a new one here, and I would assume, only assuming here, that the Weather Service may be issuing this one just to take over for that tornado warning that is in effect, that red box that you see there. Not to say that that's absolutely for sure, but that tornado warning will go into effect and stay in effect for another 20 minutes until 8 o'clock this evening. So let's go ahead and put the radar on there so we can see what we're looking at. There it is. We can see lots of storms around East Texas, no doubt about that. Looking at the radial velocity scan, or the scan that shows us rotation in the atmosphere, in that warned box, we can see that there's probably something happening here right up along 259, just south of Lone Star and north of Ore City. Appears like we've got some type of rotation occurring there. So if you live in Lone Star, please make sure that you are in a small windowless interior room. Cedar Springs, it is knocking upon your doorstep, so make sure that you are prepared. You are in a small windowless interior room because it looks like that's where the rotation is, north of the Coffeyville area, northeast of New Mountain, along State Highway 155 north. It's actually just north of there. So just north of, right around Cedar Springs to up to near Lone Star. Make sure that you are in a small windowless interior room. And you know what? They just dropped that tornado warning. So right now we're just dealing with severe thunderstorm warnings, and we are going to go through the list of the warnings that we have. We still have the one tornado warning for parts of Cherokee, parts of Rusk and Nacogdoches County as well. And I just got my thunder call for the thunderstorm warning that is in effect for us here at the station. So thunder call works, folks. Get you one. It's something that I promise you will absolutely love it. This storm appears to be moving at a pretty good clip. The one that's in near Alto, it looks like it's now just to the north of the city. It's east of Highway 69. If we zoom in just a tad closer here to kind of look at things, I would say 294. It's probably north of 294, Highway 21. It's probably north of there, and sitting just to the east of Highway 69, heading toward areas east of the city of Rusk. So if you live in those areas, please, small windowless interior room. It's time for you to take action at this point, because that warning will remain in effect until 8:15. So that's at least another 35 minutes or so, about 35 minutes. So keep in mind if you are in those areas, and we'll put a storm track on this for you and let you know. Off toward the northeast, about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So again, the Atoy area, we talked about this a little while ago, that it was 12 minutes away. Now it's 6. Reclaw, which is Walker spelled backwards, 14 minutes. It's going to be heading towards you. Anadarko, 23 minutes. The Laneville area, 30 minutes. And Henderson, 43 minutes. Again, Laneville and Henderson, you are outside of the warned area. Anadarko as well. But, you know, if we've kind of seen these storms move throughout the day today, so just be prepared for the possibility of additional warnings added beyond this. But that's what we are looking at. That's what we have for you right now. The severe thunderstorm warnings now for the northern parts of East Texas. You see for parts of Cass, also parts of Marion, Morris, Upshur, in effect until 8:45. The one for parts of Smith, northern Cherokee, northwestern Rusk, parts of Gregg, and south central Upshur, in effect until 8:30 this evening. And the tornado warning for parts of Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk, in effect until 8:15. So the situation is this. These storms are moving fairly quickly off toward the northeast. We're going to put the radar on it for you so I can kind of show you what we're talking about. I'm going to clear the screen, back out a little bit, and put this into motion, let's just say over the last 3 hours, and see what this looks like. They are moving quite quickly off toward the northeast. We told you that we would be looking at storms throughout the evening hours, and indeed that is the case. But we also have some storms that are sitting out to our west right now, most of them are west of I-35, and they could be moving into our area as well a little bit later on tonight. You can see that there's a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings and associated with that line, but it is the area here in East Texas that we are obviously most concerned with. And right now we are most concerned with the storm that is moving through parts of Cherokee and could move into the northwestern portions of Nacogdoches and southwestern sections of Rusk County. So we will stop the rotation there, or we'll stop the movement. We'll go ahead and zoom in on that storm and see what we can see, and see what kind of information we can't pass along to you. Guys, you getting any additional information on anything that has been happening?
Just getting a lot of damage reports, trees down over several homes, and these are, of course, the big trees, not the small little limbs. So some significant damage all up and down the area here during the path of these storms, from the Rosewood community over towards Harmony area, west of Gilmer off of Highway 154, and also near Henderson County from earlier. So
Okay.
lots of damage reports coming in. We're getting those right now.
Okay. All right. Well, just, you know, if you're out and about driving around here in East Texas after the storms move on through, be awfully careful. If you've got a tree over the roadway, just make sure that you are safe, and you are thinking as you are making your way into these areas. So this is, again, we're looking at the rotation, or at least possible tornado. Now this one again is not been confirmed. This is just a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, which is northeast of the city of Alto right now, kind of southeast of Rusk, in that part of Cherokee County, and kind of heading off toward the northeast. This one is moving at about 35 miles per hour. I believe that is what the Weather Service said on that one. So if that's the case, let's see, moving to the northeast at 35. If that's the case, we will go ahead and put another storm track on that and see where that takes us. Off to the northeast at 35. The cities that would be affected by this storm are the Reclaw area, 20 minutes. Anadarko, 33. Laneville, 41. Price, 52. Henderson, now at about 59 minutes. And again, Henderson, Laneville, Price, you're not in the warning right now, but that was just to say if it kind of moves out of the warned area, those are the folks that could be indeed affected by that. So,
Heads up, a new flash flood warning for most of Smith, and also over towards Upshur and Wood County. So that flooding threat continues to increase as well.
yeah, the flooding that Cedric was just talking about, that flood warning is in effect until 1:45 for parts of Smith, Upshur, and Wood County. And that's because of all the rain that we have had throughout the day today. It has really been raining heavily, especially since, say, mid-afternoon in some locations, and it has been just going over the same areas over and over and over again. So that's the flooding risk, and that will continue, obviously, now for several more hours. So there are several flash flood warnings that are out right now that are posted for us here in East Texas till 1 o'clock for Camp Franklin, Morris, and Titus, until 1 o'clock as well. 1:45 in the morning for parts of Smith, Upshur, and Wood. We just told you about that. So just keep in mind the flooding situation is not good. It's just too much. We've had too much water here today in a very short period of time. All right, we get back to the tornado warning, and this is for areas, the east central sections of Cherokee County, parts of Nacogdoches, and a very small portion of Rusk County are involved in that warning. The storm appears to be not very well defined. We'll just put it to you that way. We'll look at some of the other scans that we have available to us to see if we can't kind of pick something out here that would be really an indicator that we've got something much stronger than maybe that we already think that we have here. But I think sitting right in this general area here, right over the east central sections of Cherokee County, we could be looking at rotation there. And
Also, I just wanted to let you know we're still getting damage reports in from Upshur County, and the fire officials are reporting Ozarka had its roof ripped off, and 18-wheelers are overturned in that area there.
this is what city?
This is in Upshur County. This is Ozarka.
The Ozarka building in Upshur County. The roof has been taken off
Taken off
of that building. 18-wheelers are overturned. So we've had some really strong winds across East Texas right now, and we have had for the past several hours. We've had some large hail. We've had a confirmed tornado. Not sure how many tornadoes we're going to have be confirmed out of all of this, but we know that we had eye contact with one in the Lindale area earlier this afternoon, or earlier this evening. We also followed that storm for a long period of time as it made its way, really, I think, out of Van Zandt County up through Lindale, and then made its way up into Camp County before it really started to fade. So we'll have to see what happens with that one when the Weather Service gets out here. But we're still watching a storm over parts of Cherokee, northwestern Nacogdoches, and parts of southwestern sections of Rusk County, where a tornado warning is in effect. And this warning will stay in effect, I believe, until 8:15 for this area that is surrounded in red. And if we look, try to find a significant circulation here, still looking like we've got something that is sitting just to the north of Alto by maybe about just 2-3 miles or so, maybe 4 or 5 miles, and to the southeast of Rusk by around 5 or 6 miles as well. So if we have rotation in that area, that's probably where it's located, continuing that northeastward movement as it makes its way toward that far northwestern part of Nacogdoches and the southwestern sections of Rusk County. So that's what's happening with regards to that. Again, we've had no confirmation that storm has actually produced a tornado. That was just the Weather Service telling us that there was a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, and that's where it would be. It's northeast of Alto, I believe, at this point, kind of southeast of the city of Rusk, kind of heading toward the far northwestern parts of Nacogdoches and southwestern Rusk County itself. So let us now go back to radar and see what we have out there. There are still several flash flood warnings. Actually, some of the flash flood warnings that just came out are new. I'll turn the radar off so that we can see all of the warnings that we have right now. Still that tornado warning that we've been talking about here till 8:15 for parts of Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk. Severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Cherokee, Gregg, Rusk, and Smith County there, and parts of Upshur as well until 8:30. And then one for the far northeastern parts of East Texas for Cass, Marion, Morris, Upshur, and a few other areas, but that will remain in effect until 8:45. So these are going to be in effect for a little while longer. And flash flood warnings till 8:45 for all of Van Zandt and most of Henderson County. We've also got a flash flood warning in effect for Smith, for Upshur, for Wood, also for Camp County. And these will be in effect until 1:45, as a matter of fact, for Smith, Wood, and Upshur, and until 1 o'clock for parts of Camp, Franklin, Titus, Morris, and northwestern Cass counties. But it is again, the tornado warning that we have in effect for parts of Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk County. That will remain in effect until 8:15, so that's another 25 minutes or so. We go ahead and look to see what we can find, see if there's anything really. I really don't see it. I don't see having anything that would really cause any concern. Yeah, maybe this little area right there. As we look at the return out of the Fort Polk radar, just doesn't look like there's anything real impressive there. Fort Worth just too far away. Shreveport, it's kind of showing that. Our radar here just not really showing much of anything. But still, the National Weather Service has that warning that is in effect, and it's in effect until 8:15. So we will continue to monitor that and let you know what's happening. We'll look to see if we've got any significant hail to speak of. We do just south of the city of Bullard. I can see that right now, probably close to maybe an inch, inch and a half. So we'll go ahead and look at that. There's just a little over an inch, 1.1 inches. There's 1 inch south of New Summerfield. Not too bad. But we've had some fairly large hailstones in East Texas today, and you can see kind of the hail path for this storm that moved out of Anderson County into parts of Cherokee, now kind of heading towards Smith County. There has been a history of some fairly large hail. Also, the one that was in parts of Wood and Upshur, we've had some fairly large hail there. But the warning that we have, the tornado warning that we have right now for parts of Cherokee, Rusk, and Nacogdoches County, it's really not showing a lot to us right now. A lot of heavy rain, probably some significant lightning there as well.
Yeah, I was thinking I think what they're seeing is up in the upper levels of the atmosphere at a different tilt. It's pretty high off the ground right now, but there is some strong rotation
Right.
aloft. But I don't think it's close enough to the ground, which is why I think it's a little harder to see.
Yeah, I would say that would indeed be the case if that's what the Weather Service is looking at. They have many tilts. You can turn the radar to several tilts at 0.5 degrees, 1.5 degrees, 2.5 degrees to look at kind of dissect the thunderstorm itself. But this one just doesn't show a lot close to the surface. So it must be something that they're kind of keeping their eye on that's aloft, that in case things kind of tighten up toward the surface, that they would be looking at possibly a tornado here. But I just don't see much going on closer to the surface anyway. A movement off toward the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. This is what we've got here. The Reclaw area, 9 minutes. Anadarko in 22. Laneville in 30 minutes. Henderson in 48. And Pine Hill in 55 minutes. So again, I don't see much happening along the ground at this point. Significant thunderstorms in many other areas for sure, especially over the southern portions of Smith County right now, just probably south of White House, or right around White House. We've got a pretty strong storm in progress right now. And if we do the sweeping radar right there, we can kind of see how things are looking around the city of White House at this point, and kind of take just a little swipe at that storm to see what we're looking at. This is over 60,000 feet into the atmosphere, folks. This is a very, very tall thunderstorm right now. Not seeing a lot of hail, but as you can see, there's quite a bit of lightning from the Mount Selman area all the way up to near White House. We've got a lot of lightning associated with that storm. Otherwise, we just don't see anything other than just the lightning, the thunder, and the hail, and maybe some strong gusty wind there as well. So that's why that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. But we're going to go ahead and zoom back into that tornado warning for parts of Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk County. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a call here. I'm going to say that we're going to go ahead and go back to regular programming here, because I just don't see anything close enough to the surface right now to really warrant anything, at least anything further at this point. If there is rotation in the yes.
John Estrada and Brad are reporting that, in Lufkin are reporting that they've got reports in Alto that there's extensive damage, and a barn is blown over as well. And so they're sending a reporter out that way now.
Okay, so we've got possibly some wind damage in the Alto area that occurred as these storms made their way through East Texas. It could be that they had a tornado on the ground. It also could be that they were just looking at some straight line wind damage that occurred here over let's say the last hour as these storms blew through. But even the intensity of the thunderstorms themselves are really weakening. So I wouldn't think, at least at this point, that we've got anything tornadic to deal with on the ground. Even though that warning is still in effect, I really believe that the threat for tornadoes right now is over. I think there could have certainly been something closer to the Alto area that could have caused some damage. I think there could have been some straight line winds that occurred there. But at this point, we're going to continue to keep you updated with all of the warnings that we will put across the bottom of the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and turn those on for you now so that you'll see what I'm talking about. We will put, hopefully if Master Control is listening, they can go ahead and put this back up on the air for us. And we'll try to get that. I don't see it happening quite yet. But we're going to continue to update you just with the crawl at the bottom of the screen and any updates that are necessary. We will certainly let you know. But I do feel that the storm threat, the tornado threat for that part of Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk County has diminished enough to where we're going to let you go ahead and go back to regular programming. But keep it tuned right here to KLTV, and we will keep you updated on all of the weather situations that happen. And if anything more does make us have to break into programming, you know, we will do that, and we will be here to keep you as safe as we know how. Folks, have yourselves a great night.
My wife called me up and said, get home. And when I got here, there was 7 ATF agents here.
His son was part of a bizarre standoff with police. Now his father is speaking out about the issues he thinks contributed to his son's breakdown.
The first time she met him, it was, I think, to her like meeting a celebrity.
Garbage day, not exactly a day you get dressed up for unless the garbage man happens to be your best buddy.
And a hard lesson at an early age. This cub learns, don't try to jump through a closed window.
Caring, committed, proud of East Texas. You're watching East Texas News at 4.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for East Texas News at 4. There is a prison in Nevada where inmates are getting used to some fuzzy new cellmates, but they are serving an important purpose on both ends of that project. We'll tell you more coming up.
They sure are, and some incredible video to share with you as a woman is pulled from her sinking car. We'll get to those stories in just a bit. But first, we're learning more about the man who walked into a Baltimore TV station Thursday afternoon with a fake bomb. According to his father, Alex Breezy walked into WBFF dressed in an animal costume with what he said was a bomb strapped around him. It did turn out to be a fake, but Breezy is now hospitalized in serious condition after being shot several times by police. As Kim Hutcherson reports, his father painted a picture of a young man in trouble.
I saw him last night, and he seemed fine.
Edward Brizzy seemed to be in shock as he described his son Alex, currently hospitalized after walking into Baltimore TV station WBFF, claiming to have a bomb.
It seems like it's a nervous breakdown the other week, you know, and was sleeping in somebody's yard. Took 7 policemen to hold him down.
After that, Brizzy said, things got worse for his son. Alex lost his job and broke up with his girlfriend, but seemed to be holding it together.
He'd been acting okay, you know, since we could come home, you know, just a little bit reserved.
His wife noticed something odd Wednesday night.
She went down to his room and she said there's something with a bunch of wires.
Brizzy didn't know anything happened at WBFF until his phone rang.
About 4 o'clock, my wife called me up and said, get home. And when I got here, there was 7 ATF agents here.
Despite his son's injuries, Brizzy isn't holding grudges against the police.
They've got to do their job. You know, they can't assume that it's candy bars wrapped around his side.
And he's glad his son is alive.
It looks like he's going to be okay. That's the main thing. You know, it looks like he's going to survive it. So hopefully, you know, he'll get some help.
Baltimore police say that the device that Brizzy was wearing was made out of chocolate candy bars, wires, and a motherboard.
An officer with a Florida sheriff's office is out of a job after surveillance video caught him punching a female inmate while she was handcuffed. The video shows the officer pushing the 31-year-old inmate up against the wall, then hitting her several times after she kicked him. Authorities say the woman was initially arrested for allegedly harassing patrons at a gentleman's club and became violent with officers. On Thursday, the officer was fired and charged with simple battery. This cell phone video captures a fight at a Florida high school that started between 2 students and ended, as you can see, with a lot more than that. Students say several kids got sick after a school resource officer used mace to break this all up. Parents are outraged that many of the children who were sprayed were sent back to class afterwards. However, the district says EMS stayed on the scene to treat anyone who wanted to be checked over.
A North Carolina woman is facing criminal charges for pulling out a gun over a chicken wing mix-up. Police say that the 24-year-old became upset that she got boneless wings instead of the bone-in wings that she had ordered. After arguing with the clerk, they say that she went outside to her car and came back inside waving a gun around. Both the man and her boyfriend were arrested, and this afternoon they are free on bond. Nearly 24 people had to be rescued from flooded homes in South Mississippi, including this driver who got stranded in heavy floodwaters. You can see a woman running over to the submerged car to help that driver get out. Police officers used boats, rope, and an Army Humvee to rescue adults, children, and even family pets in areas where that water became chest deep.
First Alert Weather is sponsored by East Texas Honda Dealers. Hurry to your East Texas Honda dealers for huge savings on every new Honda in stock. EastTexasHondaDealers.com.
Let's visit now with our chief meteorologist, Mark Skirdo, in the First Alert Weather Center. If you work in an office building like we do and you have windows to the outside, you've seen it kind of steadily get darker throughout the day in parts of East Texas.
And that's one of the things that we like to do to kind of show you our tower cam in downtown Tyler as it's looking kind of off toward the south right now. You can check it out. Those clouds are very moisture laden right now, but notice on the bottom of your screen there, the flags just kind of laying there. Not much happening yet, but that's not going to last for long. As we look at the Yanta School, that's our Grant Flannery Neighborhood Weather Net stop. They've already had over 1.5 inches of rain just this afternoon. Wind gusts, though, only up at 20 miles per hour. We've had some reports of large hail in parts of East Texas, and these are the storms that have been producing just that. We got a couple of warnings that are currently in effect right now. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect, one for parts of Henderson, Van Zant, and Kaufman County until 5 o'clock, the other for Anderson County until 4:15. Now, the storm in Anderson County, as you can see, has gotten much, much weaker, but the one in Athens along Highway 175 heading toward the Kemp area, you can see that one is still holding its own, so please be aware of that. And here is the flash flood warning that we have in effect until 7:45 this evening. You wonder why the flash flood warning is in effect? Well, these are just radar estimated rainfall totals. And you can see there one just to the southeast of Winsboro, 3.5 inches of rain. And folks, that is just since this rain started a few hours ago. Temperatures in the area are much cooler underneath the rain, but still, look at that. Livingston is at 87 degrees right now. And you're wondering, where is all this rain? Well, it'll get to your area. Just give it a little bit of time. But a tornado watch in effect until 10 with large hail, strong wind, and isolated tornadoes a possibility. Some strong storms early tomorrow, but then ending by mid-afternoon. I think maybe even the rain ends by then. Sunday, a much, much better day. All right, just a quick look here at some time periods that we're looking for the storms. This is 7 o'clock tonight, still looking rather stormy. 9 o'clock the same, but you can see some of the stronger storms over deep East Texas at this point. And you'll kind of want to keep your eye on this little line right here. This one is going to get, I think, a little bit active late this evening and tonight as it makes its way into the area. And eventually by around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning begins to move into the far southern parts of East Texas. And then you'll notice by the time, Taylor, that we get into I'll just say the late morning hours tomorrow that the weather just improves dramatically around here.
That's good news. And again, just to remind people, there is a stark difference between tornado warnings and tornado watches.
Right, a watch means that it's possible. A tornado warning means that it's happening. And matter of fact, I was at Troop Elementary School today with a Project Tornado Talk, and that's one of the things that we discussed.
And we're under a watch right now until 10 o'clock tonight. Thank you very much. Jennifer, back to you.
All right, thank you both of y'all. Now take a look at these daredevils. They're jumping off this cliff as a part of the World Parachute Jump Contest. The qualifying round saw 16 contestants perform difficult maneuvers in hopes of claiming one of the 8 spots in the final. The structure that they're jumping off of is the world's longest glass walkway. Wow. Would you ever do something like that?
Is there such a thing as a non-difficult maneuver when you're jumping off like something that with a parachute on? They're performing difficult maneuvers. To me, it starts standing up there is a difficult maneuver as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm afraid of heights, so you wouldn't even
But you bungee jumped, though.
I have.
You've bungee jumped.
I have bungee jumped, and it was, I swore to God I would, if he let me get off of that thing alive, I would be good for the rest of my life.
Well, see, you're already
I'm trying, though.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
To most people, the sight of the trash truck making its rounds, not so exciting.
Not a big deal unless you've got a lot of trash to be picked up. But for one little girl, it is her favorite day of the week. And it helped to form one of the unlikeliest friendships that has gone viral since. More on her story in 60 seconds.
This picture of an Illinois girl and a sanitation worker has gone viral. Her mom says the 3-year-old has been smiling and waves to the trash truck every time it has come by for a year. As Alyssa Paldo reports, the two have struck up quite the friendship.
Brooklyn, what's today, sweetheart?
The garbage man.
For most, Garbage Day isn't exactly a day you get dressed up for. But Thursdays are a special day for 3-year-old Brooklyn Andracky. What started as a fascination with the flashing lights and the horn, anxiously waiting, smiling, and waving as the truck made its way into the neighborhood, turned into a highly anticipated meeting with the guy inside the truck, a year in the making.
The first time she met him, it was, I think, to her like meeting a celebrity, because she was just kind of in awe over him and that he was actually standing at the end of our driveway, like the garbage man.
That man is Delvar Dobson. Turns out he also was looking forward to seeing the little girl.
I say my day really starts when I pull into this neighborhood and I see Brooklyn.
Every morning I ask her what she dreamt about, and it's always Santa. And today it was the garbage man.
Sorry, Santa. Regardless of the title or the position, it's about recognizing your gift and serving it to the world. But I believe this is my life work, and this is what I was born to do, to give just a piece of kindness.
As for the little girl and her superhero sanitation specialist, it's an unlikely friendship that will last far beyond Garbage Day.
See you, Brooklyn!
Besides working in sanitation, Dobson also mentors children. He says other children in the community also run out to see the smiling garbage man. It's how he knows he's fulfilling his life's mission. Taylor?
Jennifer, thank you. Right now, let's take a minute to look at some big stories that you might have missed on this Friday afternoon. Dylan Roof, the man accused of killing 9 parishioners in Charleston, South Carolina last year, planned the slaughter for more than 6 months and said that he planned to kill himself after that shooting. The detail emerged today during a hearing in federal court. The first commercial test for the Zika virus has been granted emergency use in the U.S. and could be available by next week. The FDA gave that authorization to test developer Quest Diagnostics, which said it could be available to doctors hopefully early next week. Again, it's an emergency test for the Zika virus. And a new study out today has found that a single oil and gas field in the western U.S. is largely responsible for a global uptick of the air pollutant ethane. Fossil fuel production at the Bakken Formation in North Dakota and Montana is emitting roughly 2% of the ethane detected in the entire Earth's atmosphere. Jennifer, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Taylor. Some inmates at a Nevada prison are adjusting to life with new cellmates. The kittens are staying at this jail so that they can receive care 24 hours a day, something that they couldn't get at a shelter. The inmates are serving as foster families until the Humane Society volunteers can find them permanent homes. But these guys say taking care of the kittens has given them a new purpose.
I have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to feed them. I have to get up, I have to keep a schedule to keep them fed properly. I have to clean them up. Basically, I'm their mom. Basically, it's kind of cool.
When you get these guys, it feels like you have, something in your heart. Like you feel a little bit more warmth in your heart compared to, being in the cell.
The inmates hope that the kittens will be able to move to loving homes in the next few weeks. And take a look at this. A little bear cub on a stroll in upstate New York learned a hard lesson. You can see the cub in this video positioning itself on a table outside the home. There it goes. Whoop! Yep. Thinking he was at a good angle, tried to leap into that closed window, hoping to get inside that house, probably a little hungry. But instead, the bear hits the glass, bounces right off back to the ground, and a little dazed and confused, takes off running back into the woods. Poor bear.
Here's my issue with that video. Someone was close enough to be filming that.
It was on the other side of that door, yeah.
What if he hadn't been rebuffed, so to speak?
I'm kind of wondering, was the bear going after the person videoing?
I don't think that, but what if he were strong enough and had enough weight behind him to break that glass and come in?
Yeah.
Then it's not all that funny that you're videoing anymore. Then you've got a bear halfway in your house who's been stabbed by glass likely, and he's not really happy with what's going on.
Probably not the best move.
Just back up. Just if you're going to video, back up a little bit. Video all you want, but don't stand right by it just in case.
Still ahead, President Obama gives a group of budding journalists the surprise of their young careers.
And it's one of the tastier traditions in East Texas. Then they're not letting the rain slow down the party. Details on an annual biker rally barbecue cook-off after the break. Welcome back. It is that time again. The annual Nacogdoches Motorcycle Rally and Barbecue Cook-Off is roaring back into town. The setup's already underway. They say the rain will not stop their party. You can expect beer gardens, vendors, concerts, bike shows, and of course, grilling from the cook-off competitors. The event will go on over the weekend at the Nacogdoches Expo Center. They have more than 100,000 square feet of arenas in case the party needs to be moved indoors, hence not worrying about the rain. Thousands of young scientists showed off their skills at the Angelina County Science Fair. Nearly 1,500 students from area schools competed in catapults, robotics, and conversion contraption competitions. Participants ranged from 6th to 12th grade. Students say they've spent months creating and preparing for this day, and it's pretty easy to see.
We're going to check in now with Mark for our first big weather story of the day, and we're going to obviously stay right here in East Texas. We've got a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot of things going on now, and there's likely to be a lot more of that this evening and tonight. So we're just going to go ahead and just kind of keep you posted on what we're seeing and what we can expect in East Texas. The first thing we're going to do is check out First Alert Live Doppler radar right now, and you can see, especially over the northern portions of East Texas, a lot of rain. But what I do want to show you first, and I just want to go ahead and I'm going to turn off the radar and the lightning. I just want you to look at the different colors that we have here for you and let you know what we've got. We have flash flood watches in effect for the far southern parts of East Texas. That's the light blue, or that bluish green color. The orange, that is a tornado watch in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. The dark blue, flash flood warning. The yellow is a severe thunderstorm warning, and we're going to see those here in just a second. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead now and take off the lightning so you can see in the area where we've had those flash flood warnings. Just watch the rain move over and over and over the same place. We call that training, and that is a significant issue, folks. We do have, however, a severe thunderstorm warning until 5 o'clock for parts of Henderson, Van Zandt, and Kaufman County until we get these storms out of there. And it's dropping some very heavy rain. We've also got some hail, some small hail associated with that one. And there is that flash flood warning for parts of Camp Smith, Wood, Upshur. So folks, please, please, please be careful if you're going to be out traveling in those locations, as the water has really begun to rise. Over 3.6 inches of rain. These are radar estimated values just to the south and east of Winnsboro. Over the northwestern parts of Upshur County, over 2.5. So folks, you really have to be careful. Now, here are some of the official reporting stations across East Texas showing you some rainfall totals, the highest of which now is Sulphur Springs at 1.27, an inch in Mineola. But you can look at the southern parts of East Texas, nothing. But the key there, Jennifer, is yet, as we're expecting a front to work its way into the area tomorrow. And until that front gets through, we're likely to see at least that chance for strong storms. We have a 90% chance tonight through about, say, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
tracking that for us, Mark. Taylor?
Guys, thank you. Check out this dust storm on an Arizona interstate that brought traffic to a halt near Tucson on Thursday. Look at this. The cloud of dirt dropped visibility down to 0, and as you might expect, triggered multiple pileups. One involved at least one tractor trailer and as many as 12 other vehicles. Look at this. The interstate was closed, eventually causing drivers to make a more than 100-mile detour. Again, we are talking about Arizona, so a little bit more wide open spaces as far as where people are. Not that we're not wide open spaces here, but we have so many more just kind of towns dotted around than Arizona does. But that's dangerous to not be able to see
Sure is.
at all.
It's very scary.
Okay, they're used and then forgotten.